Oh, YouTube is there now. Video capture. Oh, YouTube is there now. Video capture. Display. Let's go live. Oh, YouTube is there now. Video capture. Display. Let's go live. If I do say so myself. Take that off. Yo, what up, fam? Welcome. Look like YouTube decided to work tonight. We'll just see how that looks. I'm not gonna be logged in over there tonight, though. How y'all guys doing tonight? Let me drop this in the Discord. We ain't gonna be here too long tonight. Check in with you guys. Talk about a couple things. I can tell you what we're gonna talk about next week pod though. We're gonna talk about the Lakers being sold. And also making sure you don't hire people that you're trying to have sex with. Looking at you, Tyler Perry. But that's next week though. That's next week. What we gonna talk about tonight though? Let me airdrop this note to myself real quick. Boom. But you got two mature topics tonight. Two really mature topics. I'm gonna save K Michelle for the end with that whole go you love thing. We'll end on that. But we're gonna open up with why young people are having less sex, and also this ideal of husband. We'll have a mature conversation tonight. Pass some height. You and Gavin Pod is huge in San Diego. Word, Cali. They don't really tell us where most of our listeners are from. We just see like U.S. So I know Charlotte support the Carolinas. I know the Carolina support is really good. That's cool that we out there in San Diego, man. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Like we feel like we right there. And that's because of you guys, am I being honest? Position, what's up, man? Baraka, what's up? Reed, what's up? Anybody I'm missing in here? Red Light, you was in there. Soul, bro, welcome. Y'all know I ain't gonna keep y'all in here too long. When we start having a crowd, that's when we'll start keeping these things long. But y'all feel free, politic in the chat. I know what I will do. This is what I will do. This is what I will do. I'll start here. Let me see. Let me move this down. I forgot to get this coordinated. Let me tell you something I don't like. Something I don't like. Come on. I hate when guys virtue signal. I won't say you guys because it's not y'all. Let me see if I can find this comment. All right. Let me see this. Low key, I hate this clip. This clip is what put us on the map. I hate this clip. It's so out of context, but it's funny. But I'm also fat. But it is funny. Oh, where is it at? I want to find this guy's comment. I really, really do. It ain't gonna let me find it, right? But let's see here. All right, but anyway, you see this right here? You see this little part right here? Can y'all see this? Let me scroll it a little bit. I'm gonna show you something that I can't stand. So this right here, yeah, man. I don't know what was said, right? These new men, wow. Now I can only imagine what's the rest said. It's not really gonna let me see it, but I'm gonna tell you, man. I hate when you guys, not y'all, right? But I hate when guys do this right here. I ain't gonna show you a picture. I'm not doxing them. Don't hit them up. Despite my ghoulish reputation, I have the heart of a small boy. I keep it in the jar on my desk, right? See, I hate when dudes, you pedestalize kitty cat so highly, right, that you can't even take what is clearly a joke, right? If you listen to the pod, you know it's clearly a joke about side chicks, right? And losing your side chick. Stop that virtue signaling. Women don't like it. They don't. They do not like it. You think they like it. You think they care. They do not care, bro. They still over there. Honestly, with the dude that got side chicks, if I'm being honest. So stop that virtue signaling. If you're a real good dude in real life, be a good dude in real life, because you're the type of dude that a woman need to marry. But if you just a wannabe hound and you can't get it, and you think by saying the right things you're gonna get it, you're never going to get it. You're never, ever, ever going to get it. Stop. Don't virtue signal. We always open up with a talent acquisition tip. Hopefully I will have that up and running in the next month or so. But to be fair, it took me 2 years to get the live started. But I do want to do it because I love helping you guys out. The only TA tip I have right now is, if you don't have another job, do not quit your job. This is a tough job market, man. Very, very tough job market. We are starting, Q3 starts next week after next. We have new business coming in, but we really don't have any new work in any of our existing markets. It's only all the work that we have, which is not typical for us. I'm in fiber construction management, so all the telecom companies, right? So every business needs fiber. You would think I'm in an industry that's pretty insulated from issues. We don't have any new work this quarter. We kept our work this quarter, which is a testament to the company that I work for, but we don't have any new work coming in. And the new business that we're trying to get, we're having to be really, really impressive to get it. So if you have a job right now, do not quit your job, man, and think you're going to find another job very, very fast. No one is hiring right now. Companies are looking, companies are trying to leverage AI. So anything that's tech related or telecommunications related, not like fiber lines, but like cloud services, sales. Companies are trying to really leverage AI and see how they can use it without hiring more people. And everyone is low key afraid of what the hell is going to happen next with this administration. So if you have a job, my TA tip right now, if you have a job and you have a good job, don't quit that job. Matter of fact, go be better at it tomorrow. Go network with your manager and your hiring manager. Like for real. Let's hop into it, man. Let's hop into it. I'm gonna end with Kate Michelle. I got something to say. We actually talked about her on the pod yesterday, very glowingly, actually. But there's another clip that she played, and I was like, we're gonna talk to her. But let's start here tonight. Let's start with, why are young people having less sex? Let me see here. All right.
this other person with whom you want to have sex, and it's like this unknown continent that you have to conquer.
1 in 3 men under 30 in the US reported no sex in the past year. That's triple the rate from 2008. Millennials and Gen Zs are having less sex than any generation since records began, despite more access to the dating apps we talked about. In Japan, over 40% of young adults are virgins, and many say that they have no interest in sex.
You arrive at a certain age, and now you're looking at this other person with whom you want to have sex, and it's like this unknown continent that you have to conquer. Because in order to have sex with a female partner, if that's the man you're talking about, you need to be able to approach her. And so social atrophy is directly connected to what is often called a sexual recession. But you've never spoken with those people. You have very little female friends who are just friends, who help you understand what happens with your girlfriend. You know, there's an entire social map that has dissipated. So the sex is the last thing on the list of all these disconnects that then, of course, lead you to have this kind of statistic. You arrive at a certain age, and now you're looking at this other person with whom you want to have sex, and it's like this unknown continent that you have to conquer.
All right. So we often address the question. I think that was the same question with Ace and Cam not too long ago, right? The whole ideal of, can you be friends with a woman, right? Remember we had that question, like, can men and women be friends? We always have this question. Can men and women be friends? And one of the things that she is talking about on here is social atrophy, right? People do not know how to even hold conversations anymore, right? I had a good friend. No, Callie, I actually think you can. I actually think that men need to understand that you can't sleep with every woman, right? I know when you're young, you feel like you can. When you get my age, you realize, oh, that was a bad idea. But I know when you're younger, you like, oh, you think I can, right? Women are a good resource to be able to find the type of women you want, right? You can't come and listen to me every day on how to talk to a woman, right? Because how I approach isn't going to be your approach, right? But you can have girls in your life, women in your life that can kind of tell you like, hey, you know, you really, really this way, right? You really, really funny. Or, you know, when you get upset, you know, you do this thing where you become real, real snarky, right? I'm never going to tell you that as your guy friend, right? Because I'm never going to experience it. So when you have ladies as your friend, they're able to pick the small things that you're good at, and they're able to pick the small things that you're terrible at. So when you go into the dating market, you can actually become a better version of yourself, right? I had a really good friend. Like, one of the things, like, she has been the person that put me on my cologne game for probably the last 2 decades, right? When Creed came out, she put me on Creed, because like that's what her boyfriend at the time, her husband now, right, wears now. When Bond came out, she put me on Bond. Mind Games came out, she put me on Mind Games. I finally put her on the first perfume today. Like today, I finally put her on a perfume, right? But again, that's what comes from being able to interact and deal with the woman. Now, what I'm talking about is getting to the sex. Everything that I'm talking about helps you get to the sex. If you know how to talk to your homegirls, then you're going to know how to talk to women. If you do not have homegirls, if all your interaction from women is on dating apps, good luck, good Lord, you are going to struggle. You have to become sociable, right? What did the good book says, man? The good book says, he that finds a friend first must find himself to be friendly. The fact that so many men right now, right? What did they say? 33% of guys haven't gotten laid in the past year. That's not low, fellas. That is not low. That is a high number. And you don't want to live in a society that men aren't getting laid in. I assure you, you do not. And one of the things that I hate that we do in this society is we take men who are really good guys, right? and then we create them to be lames, right? Which they're not. They're men who should be husbands, if we're being 100% honest, right? And then we praise men that are attractive to women in some way, but they're not good husbands. And I'm not even talking trash right here, right? Like, I've never had a problem with women. I have never been the type of man that I could say, yo, I was going to make the best husband. But there's guys out here that are really, really good guys, and they can't even get in front of women because of the dating market. They have no clue how to get in front of women. Everything's through dating apps. And then you have morons that are hounds that'll say things like, men and women can't be friends. Bro, nothing is gonna get you a woman faster than a homegirl. Nothing. Well, maybe money. But if you don't have a lot of money, you need to have a homegirl. So we do have to have an understanding that, you know, there's a value in women that is invaluable. So we can't look at all women and say, hey, I don't want to say a piece of meat, because I don't think that's how men treat women by and large. I think women like sex as much as men like sex. I just think that the access that women have for sex is just way higher than men. So women can kind of pretend that they're not doing it, right? Whereas a man, you really got to be getting it to be pretending that you're not getting it. But for women, you know, they can sit there and pretend that they're not getting it. Most men really don't end up in that spot. But since we're sitting here and we're talking about sex, I got another clip that I want to play with y'all. I told y'all we're gonna be a little bit serious till we get to K Michelle. I got another clip that I want to play real quick. And I typically agree with my mans right here. I typically agree with him. I want to listen to this with y'all again, because I don't know if I fully agree with him. Let's see here. This is Guy is actually a good follow, man. He really is a good follow. Let me see if I can get this one replayed here.
Someone else's happiness.
All right.
Oh, it's a man committed.
What is a husband?
To a relationship. A man committed. A guy joins a Major League Baseball team. He's committed. That makes him a husband. You go into a partnership in a business. You're committed. Commitment is not a description of a husband, because there are many different commitments. What is a husband? A husband is the only creature in the world whose entire definition of self depends on someone else's happiness. There's no one else. That's purely husband. A wife whose husband is not happy is concerned, not devastated. A husband whose wife is not happy, he's shattered. He's a broken person. Her happiness is so essential to who he is, the only creature in the world. If you're a parent and your children are not happy, you're worried. You're not devastated. Only the husband. That's it. A unique creature. What is a husband? Nobody knows. Ask around. Oh, it's a man committed to a relationship. A man committed, a guy.
All right. I want to pull this up because this is where I disagree with him a little bit here. And I think this is something that as men we got to do better with. If I try not to say this on the pod, because I try not to get we have a good married men. We have a good bit of married men that listen into the pod and their wives listen in. So I really try not to get guys in trouble. Listen to me, especially since I'm the divorced guy. But husbandry and husband and husbandry, it shares the same root word, right? The meanings have diverged, but it shares the same root word. But what I want you to understand is that husbandry, right? I want y'all to look at something right here, right? The primary definition of husbandry was the male partner in a marriage. Well, excuse me, down here. Husband is the primary partner in a marriage, right? The root comes from master of the house. All right. Let's go down a little bit further here. Let me see. I might need to scroll this down a little bit. All right. Let's go down a little bit down here, right? Now, this one is husbandry. right? This is derived from the word husband in the sense of manager of a household or farm. Now, just follow me real quick. We're not going to get too serious, but I want y'all to just follow me real quick here. Both of those root words means that you are the master of your house, right? You're the manager of everything that occurs in your world. This is why you always get the responsibility, but a lot of men do not receive the respect, right? There's no job or any office that can run if people do not respect the manager, right? If people do not respect the person who's supposed to be managing the household or the farm, right? The person that is not the master of the house. Now, one of the places where as men we mess up is we don't become masters at the skill of husbandry, right? A lot of that is taking care of our women, right? Like the small things, man. Like one of the questions I always ask women, they say they want a generous man. I be like, when you say generous, do you mean a man that is rich or do you mean a man that'll give you your last, right? 'Cause those are two different definitions, right? If I'm generous, right, that means that I'll show up no matter what, right? If I'm just rich, yeah, you're probably gonna be straight, but you're never gonna be fulfilled. So I always ask ladies, like when you say you want a man that's generous, right? A lot of men are generous, they're just not rich, right? It's hard for a lot of men to live in that space because we have not become masters of our home, right? We live the way that women live, right? Scarcity mindset, selfish, right? Again, I'm not talking about spending money. Y'all know I do not like simping, right? I trick, but I don't like simping, right? And one of the things that men got to understand is like, as being a master of my house, right? The most important thing that I have to do is make sure that everybody in the house understands we got to listen to the house manager, right? That doesn't mean that I yell. That doesn't mean that I fuss. It doesn't mean that I rule with an iron fist, right? But it means that we have to come to an agreement that I have to be respected in my home. And a lot of us are not strict enough. So when things fall apart, right, that's when we try to get strict. That's when we try to make sure that everybody listening to us. When the truth of the matter is, I could have done that up front. And the biggest way to become the master of your home or the master of self, right, is the first place to start, right? And then it's to make sure that I choose a lady that is going to adore me, that is going to respect me, that is going to celebrate me. Because if those things happen in my home, right, that is going to allow me to become the master of my home. Remember, the root word is manager of a household or farm, right? Master of the house, right? But to be a master, there has to be a sign. There has to be an acquiescence that goes on with that. So we started tonight talking about, men getting laid, right? And the understanding of there. But the second thing that we talked about tonight was what it is like to be a husband. I'm not telling you what to do as a husband, how you need to be as a husband. But I am saying, as men, it shouldn't be uncommon for you to be nice to a woman. And it shouldn't be uncommon with you to have the idea of, let me master myself. Because if I master myself, like I said, if you go listen to yesterday's pod, I think we dropped it yesterday. One of the things that I said on there was, whenever I date a woman or love a woman, I don't really care what she gives me back. I'm going to show up top notch, right? And if she don't give me what she needs to give back, it's clear to me she don't like me. I just move on. I'm not trying to get my lick back. Like, bro, if I'm being a great dude, there's another woman that's going to want the great dude. That's always going to be the case if you're not afraid to talk to women. All right, last topic tonight. Look, I done went 30 minutes. This is why preachers be going so long, man, because they don't be realizing that they be taking up people's time all night. All right, we're gonna finish with K Michelle real quick here. I didn't like this, but I didn't want to kick her back in yesterday. But I did say I was gonna talk about it tonight because I see this with our sisters a lot. And y'all, and I want y'all to start smacking it down when y'all see it.
dated outside your race?
Yes, that's all I would like to do.
Now?
Yes. I always get in trouble for this over the past 3 years. I've always told my sisters to go where they are loved. And I've always told black women to be open to dating, even outside of their race. I love black love, and I would like that. But to see my African-American women sitting around waiting on a black man as he chooses whoever he wants to choose, I've always dated outside of my race. And I would like for black women to be open to the people that like them. White men love me. Like, white men love me. They love me. And that's just always been what that is. But the men that have treated me the best
Here we go.
have not been black men. But if we're being honest about the men that have treated me the best, they have been white men. They have been this and that. I don't attract, never have. And I don't even, the thing is, I always attract men with money who are successful, and I never ask them for it. That might be my problem.
All right, this is how we're gonna finish the night off. All right. Is she married? Is she married to the man she's talking about? Right. When women say I date outside of my race and they're not married, like that's exclusively what they do, and they're not married, right? We do have to start letting them know that, like, hey, they're just sleeping with you. That's it. They're using you for sex. And that's not new. That's why half of us in this chat are brown skinned. Because somebody 150, 200 years ago thought it was cool to sleep with a black woman. We got to knock that narrative back. Right? Now, I want everybody to go where they love. I don't care what your race is or what your gender is. Or your race. I really don't care. I really don't. I want everybody to go where they love, right? But what we're not going to do is pretend that the men who take care of their children the most, right, which is the most important thing for these lazy chicks, right? The men that, vote for your rights at a higher level than anybody out here on the planet, right? What we're not going to do is pretend that those men don't love you, right? What we are going to do is start recognizing that the men that love you are being mistreated, right? The men that love you can't afford to take care of you and someone else's kids, right? You're going to have to participate in that home, right? The men that love you are saying that, hey, you got to make it a little bit easier for me in my home. This narrative, and K. Michelle, she's wrong for that, but she knows she's wrong for it, right? But, I mean, I think she's my age group, so, the same way that I'm running up on the end of my dating career, she's running up on the end of her dating career. The difference is I'm probably going to fend a lot better than her, despite the fact that she's richer than me. But what we're not going to do is just say that brothers are mistreating sisters. Brothers are not mistreating sisters. They're not. Brothers are married. If brothers was mistreating sisters, brothers would have higher fertility partner rates, right? It means there would be more men with multiple fertility partners than women. That's not the case. Men would have more babies out of wedlock than women. Also not the case. And men would be married, black men would be married at a rate lower than black women. Also not the case. All right. So I know sometimes the snow bunny jokes are funny, but they're jokes, right? What we do have to do is knock back this narrative that, and that was a Medium man. I actually took that from his profile because I was looking for the clip. But what we're not going to do is have this, white men treat black women better than black men. No, not the case. Not the case. So that's all I got, man. Y'all got anything in chat before we get out of here tonight, man? I appreciate y'all following in tonight. So, hey, Red, I appreciate that too, man. You letting me know that that was Cali Red. Let me know that we big out there in San Diego. We blow up. I like to come out there, but San Diego is like Miami. It's too expensive. I can leave the country for that. I can go to Brazil for what it would cost me to go to San Diego. Can't afford that. Hey, man, y'all always know. the arc, man. This is the woman you marry right here. The woman that adores you, respects you, and celebrates you. You find that woman, and she is sexually compatible with you. She is aesthetically pleasing. She is intellectually curious, and she is loyalty. That's the woman you marry, bro. No questions, no anything, and that'll be a good life. I assure you, that would be a good life. That's what I'm looking for, man. I do not want to be out here, 55, bachelor. I don't care where I can go. I don't care if I can go to Brazil. I don't care if I can go to Colombia. I don't care if I can go to Peru. If they ever open up Venezuela, if I can go to Venezuela, that's like the last time y'all ever hear me say that here, because I don't want y'all to be down there when they open it up. Not y'all, but us niggas. But yeah, like no, I would prefer to be married. I think it's better for a man to be at home with his woman that he absolutely adores. I think that's a better life than just out here with a ton of women. And I'm speaking from a little bit place of, as a young man, kind of, did that, done it all. But I know when you hear it coming from an older guy, he's like, yeah, man, it's not worth it. And then you're 26 and you're like, well, let me try. You had it. Let me try. Right? I get it. It's hollow. It's really, really hollow. So I'm not telling anybody to stop. But what I am saying is like, if you find that, that's it. That's your answer. So if you don't stop, it's on you at that point, right? If you find a woman that adores you, respects you, celebrates you, and she's sexually compatible, she's aesthetically pleasing, she's intellectually curious, she's loyal, right? And then you find all that, and you're just like, well, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop being out here, with all these chicks. Just know that, like, yo, whatever you don't have in the future is just on you. So I get it, right? Me saying, hey, young man, don't do that. I get it. Yeah, it's hypocritical. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, I didn't have fun. Had a ball, right? But I can tell you, when you get to my age, you do look at the 2 or 3 that you miss and be like, that would have been better than, such and such from last night. You do. Just being honest with you. But that's all I got, man. I'm gonna hop out of here tonight, man. Appreciate all y'all. Hey, I'm gonna watch this game tomorrow night. I think OKC got their first championship. But other than that, man, hey, man, I love you guys, man. I'll holler at your boy.